Well, hi everybody. It is, I guess, Thursday already. Wow, when did that happen? I have no idea. But it is Thursday morning, and I'm in the office here. And I wanted to talk to you about something real quickly. Just a few moments of your time. It has to do with people. It has to do with the kind of people that I'm seeing in and around the communities I'm around right now, this country, and maybe even all over the place. And I'm putting people into two categories here for a specific reason. I'm putting people into a category of rigid and non-changing, and flexible and open. Okay? Because when I look around, really I'm seeing these two different kinds of people, and they're not getting along real well. One group is just so resistant to any change or anything, and the other group is more flexible. They're willing to look at things in a new way. They're willing to open up their hearts and their minds. And it's causing conflict because when these two groups meet, people like this meet, it's that whole immovable object, right? And it's just not going to move. Versus something that wants to float around and experience different things. And I just want to share with you a little bit today what this kind of means for me. And I'm going to use some examples here too. I've got a cracker. Okay, I've got a cracker here. And if I do this right, it's going to make a big mess, but that's okay. A cracker, if you bend it, right, it doesn't bend, does it? It just breaks. The whole thing breaks. See that? Hopefully I'll pick that up later. Now the other thing I got here is a rubber band. You have rubber bands. And rubber bands are flexible, right? They go all over the place, and you can take all sorts of rubber bands and you can maneuver them around, and that one even broke because it's well, it wasn't a good choice. But anyway, rubber bands, right? They're flexible. When I'm seeing people talk, and it's kind of hurting my heart, and that's why I wanted to talk about it today, is this particular group that I'm seeing that is immovable is just not willing to have a conversation. That's what it kind of boils down to for me personally, okay? They have a belief, whether it's political, whether it's ideological, whether it's religious, whether it's faithful, whether it's scientific, whatever it is, and they're right here, and they're kind of putting themselves in a box, is what I see. And they're unwilling to move out of that box. They're unwilling to change their mind no matter what evidence is given to them, no matter what kind of conversations they're having. And what happens is they end up being like that cracker, and they just break. If you disagree with them, they break. And they get mad, and they get angry. It's true. I'm seeing this in some of my personal conversations. And it's just like, I don't know where this is coming from. I saw this before COVID. Okay, I saw it definitely. I'm seeing it more now. Maybe that's just me being in tune to it. Maybe that's just me being really tired of it. I don't know, okay? But, and there's been times in my life, I have to be honest, where I've been that, okay? I have been that rigid person who's like, no, this is what I believe in, this is how it is, and I'm not going to change. Over time, I realized that my position was not right? Because God is asking us, I believe, to be open. Right? We have to be open even to receive Jesus in the first place, okay? We've got to have our minds open. If we're closed and rigid, we're never going to accept Christ, right? Even the Apostle Paul, right, who we thought was rigid in one way of thinking against Christianity, was obviously open to something, because when Christ came to him and closed his eyes and then reopened them, he saw the good news. He saw, wow, there is a different way of life, right? I've heard stories after stories after stories of people coming to Christ and changing their lives, right? And not even that. I mean, I've had scientific ideas. I've had other political worldviews where I've been rigid, and somebody says, you know what? Think about this. And I've allowed myself to do that, and I have changed my mind. I am not the same person I was back in high school, okay? I have changed. Some of my beliefs are still the same. Some of them have changed because I've allowed myself to be flexible and open to receiving new ideas, right? To think about them and to accept different things that this is maybe my opinions were maybe not the right ones, okay? And when I found myself in that other category of rigidness and unchanging, I found that I was miserable. I was angry a lot, right? I get angry. Because I'm not willing to move. And everybody else who says anything else is just wrong. and I'm going to blow up, right? It was not a fun way to live, and I don't like living in that category. So I like being in this flexible lifestyle and just doing this. A while back, somebody I love very dearly, there was an issue going on in the world. And I said, you know what, I'm going to investigate this. I'm going to look at the Bible. And if the Bible convinces me this other way, I might have to change my mind. And they were not very happy with me, okay? But I was like, I've got to do this. I've got to be open to this. I looked at the scriptures. I looked at everything in my mind. I was like, nope, what I'm seeing here is really supporting, I believe, what I'm seeing in the first place. So I didn't change my view. But I told this person, if it is in there and I see it clearly, I may have to change my mind on this. I was being open and flexible. In the book of Romans, I'm going to just pull it over here, sorry. Romans 12:2, it says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect, right? Don't be conformed. Just because somebody says something, don't go, okay, I'm going to go on Twitter and Facebook and just repeat it, whatever it is. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Or just say, this is what I heard, and that's the only story. There's more than one side of everything. Open your mind. And this is what I love. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. You know what that means? That means that we are this rubber band. We have to be this rubber band. Open and flexible, because God's constantly changing us. God's constantly asking us to do new things, okay? So be open. Whatever you do, be open in this world we live in. It's going to make your life a lot easier. I know it will. But it's also going to open up your mind and your heart to receiving things that God is trying to tell you, instead of being rigid and unmoving and brittle and angry all the time. I've been there. It's not a fun place to be. Anyway, so I don't know where you stand on this. You might think you're all elastic. I don't know. I just wanted to share this morning. It's been on my mind. But let's go out there and let's be flexible. Let's be open to learning new things. Let's be open to changing our minds, if that's what it really takes. All right, you guys take care. Have a great and amazing Thursday, and God bless, and be safe. Bye for now.